Hello there, no special intro today, just helpful cookbook-like segments for Mappet users. This a little exercise with states and parsed expression. Let's grab a trigger block and make it set a state to 1 at left click and to 0 at right click. Switch to the survival mode, because left click will destroy the block in creative. In the Mappet dashboard, you can pick which player's states to edit. As you can see, the A state is 0. If I'll right click the trigger block, the A state will stay 0. But if I'll left click the block, the state will change to 1. This shows that there are variables like $subject, $object, and others, which can be found in the wiki, that can be inserted into commands. Model blocks and global chat trigger can be used in interesting ways to display information. Here is a setup of a label morph that can display text. Model block morph command allows you to change the morph of a model block at given coordinates. Since NBT data can be replaced, this opens a possibility for automating this process. Using global chat trigger, we can add an event that will replace that model block's message with a variable from the trigger. Parsed expressions allow you to input in the command's incoming variables from the trigger, and not only. So there you go. If you want something to happen only the first time a player joins the server, here is how. In this example, I want to give player starting equipment upon logging onto the server. This can be done by checking whether a state exists, and if it's not, then give the equipment and update the state, so the next login the condition won't be met. Once the event was configured, log off and log back into the world, you should receive the item. If you'll try to log in again, new items won't be given. If you'll reset all the server and player states, and log off and log back again, you'll receive these items again. Trigger hotkeys is a nice feature that lets you attach triggers to certain keys on the keyboard. In this example, I'll show you how to make your character crawl when you hold Z key. The way it works is you need a script that will morph your character into a morph with lying on the ground pose. To check whether key was pressed or released, the down variable from the context can be used. s.getSkin fetches the path to the skin on the client. This works only if you have non-cracked client. Once the script is ready, go to Server Settings panel, edit trigger hotkeys, add a trigger hotkey, pick the key, and most importantly enable toggle mode. That should do it. This clip shows how to set up crafting mechanism in the dialogue. There is nothing that requires commenting is going on, so just watch and observe. If you want to create a deadly trap that kills the player that enters the area that doesn't pass quickly enough. The idea here is to delay the execution of the kill command by certain amount of ticks, and then check whether the player is still inside of the region. States will help keeping the track of it. First, set up a region block that writes a state, then set up an event in a following configuration. You don't need say commands in the beginning and the end. Those are simply for debug purposes, to check whether everything works. Once the delay passes, we need a condition to check whether the player is still in the region to kill that player, and if not, do nothing, or at least say that nothing is going to happen. And here is the result. Nice. Someone on the Discord server asked how to make respawnable NPCs, and here is how. You need a script that is in the description, and also NPC death trigger. Create and insert the script in scripts panel, and then attach it to the death trigger. That should make the NPC respawn, as long as the server doesn't crash during NPC's respawn process. Last but not least, here is a way to make something happen periodically using events. So the basic idea is to create a condition that will be checking whether the it should still loop, then do whatever has to be done, delay the execution of the event with timer node, and connect the delay back to the condition. So basically it goes in circle until the condition is met. Once the state check fails, it stops repeating. So this is the final form. Now, we'll go back to the trigger block I placed in the beginning and set it up to enable the state and launch the event on left click and disable the state on right click. Again, change into survival mode and left click the block. As you can see, the message gets repeated until I right click the block. So yeah, that's a couple of Mappet tips. Hopefully it was useful.